say that the human race is doomed, that we have lost touch with our true nature, that the media has corrupted us, and that the planet has no future. I disagree. I believe that humanity is full of hope, and that our salvation lies within each one of us. My name is Brian Rose, and my job is to listen, the oldest method of learning known to man. Each week I seek out individuals that are changing the world, people who are living and thinking in a different way. Their stories will challenge your beliefs, make you question your choices, and perhaps inspire you to change. I never planned on doing any of this, but now I can't stop. Join me on this mission and make humanity something we can all be proud of.
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Matthew Clegg, recent graduate of our Business Accelerator. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about you. Where are you from? What do you do?
So I live in Jersey, the Channel Islands. I used to live in Australia, so I've uprooted my family and moved them over to the Channel Islands to sort of bring the family closer to sort of where the rest of our family network is. So there's been a lot of sort of upheaval and movement in our life, but I think we're sort of planning to settle where we are now. I've always been a searcher for kind of change in my life, and so there's often been change, but I think now we're sort of looking for some settled time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was going on with you, personal life, and what was going on with your business before you decided to take the Business Accelerator?
Well, I think I've always, I'm in finance, and I've led this kind of double life of being a finance sort of performer and trying to sort of be a high performance person in finance. And at the same time, I've had this sort of underflow of searching to better myself both from a performance point of view, but also kind of almost, it sounds so cliched, but at the spiritual level and looking to sort of find sort of more connectedness. And that journey has sort of worked in tandem sometimes, and then I've had some very humbling experiences around overwhelm and anxiety and panic attacks, and that led me sort of more to search about maybe sort of giving back and to try and have something where maybe in an industry where that's not talked about and not apparent, to be someone that could then bring both the high performance sort of aspects, but also some techniques to bring calm, connectedness, compassion into that industry, and that's been sort of an undertow of interest for me for a long time, and I thought of doing some sort of entrepreneurial way of moving into it. I think I put it off for a long time. The Life Accelerator that I did with you prior to this one compelled me that you have to really strike now. I can't remember what the sort of, some people talk about the best time to start these things is however many years ago. The second best time is now. And so that was kind of for me. If I wasn't going to do a course like this, then I was probably never going to take that step and give it a chance. And so that's the situation for me at the moment that caused me to take that step.
Okay, and what was going on with your personal life? I know you've got, 2 boys, you've got your wife. What was going on that allowed yourself to feel like you could go ahead and do this?
Well, I think having children teaches you that time management in a way that, that there is time to make things happen. You realize that when you have children that there are ways of making things happen that you thought that time never existed. And when you have children and you realize you have to stop doing so many other things and just immediately take a leap into what's in front of you there and now, is a great sort of, historical confidence booster that capacity was there, if that makes sense. There's sort of, I thought I was busy before I had children, and then when I had children I realized that I wasn't busy before. And I realized that unless I took the jump to do it, that I wouldn't do it, and I would find time. And I'd have to, so the low media diet, something that you talk about in the Life Accelerator, gave me that time, and a very understanding wife, in terms of, saying, okay, these are the days when you're going to be doing your accelerator work, we'll make time for you. So I'd say I definitely operated on about the minimum time that you can give to the business accelerator. You know, I've got various hats that I have to wear. I'm an employee, I'm a father, I'm a husband, and, you know, and then the accelerator as well. So it was around managing that time and just giving the best that I could. I'm glad I'm not doing a third right away, because I probably would crash and burn, but doing the two together worked really well.
Yeah, you hit some good points here. I mean, they say the best time to plant a tree is 100 years ago. The second best time is now.
Yeah.
So agree, it's always now. Everyone always thinks I'll do that when I have blah, 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 but it's just procrastination. It's just fear. Really.
Yeah.
And then the second thing you said there was about time. I mean, I think Dan Pena told me if you want something done, give it to a busy person because they know how to get things done. Yeah. And so, and as well, like you're busy doing what? You know, honestly, if you do decide to delete, try deleting Facebook and Instagram from your phone, and then find that you'll have an extra 10 hours a week. Yeah. And then kids show you can get things done when you think you don't have time. So that's good observations. Yeah. And what are you talking about? The banking industry has all sorts of charities. They give back all the time, Matthew.
Yeah, they do, and that's great, you know. And I think genuinely there are people there that are giving, and it's not a complete sort of anti-banking. I'm still very much involved in finance and a different side of it. I mean, I was an investment banker on the the real cutthroat edge of I worked for the Australian version of Goldman Sachs. I was in the front office where there was plenty of screaming and shouting, and I considered myself to some degree an A-type, go get things done. But when I went to Macquarie Bank, I was, and particularly in the area that I was in, I realised that I had gone from being probably having to tone down that level to have it being very much at the bottom of that type of personality. And so marrying those two traits of being competitive and A-type and trying to get things done, but then also being very interested in my personal development and setting times for meditation and doing those things was quite an alien concept that I kept quiet about, that I didn't share with the people that I was doing. So I was going and doing those things, going and doing my 2 meditations at work and booking meeting rooms and going and doing those, and not sort of sharing that, keeping the 2 lives separate, because they wouldn't be understood by most people. And now I'm trying to sort of bring them more, to be more open about them.
Good. You'd be surprised how much they will understand.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, when I left my job in banking, you hear this all the time. People say, "Wow, you did it. I'm so jealous." I mean, that's 80% of the comments you get is that I wish I could get out of here too. It's this weird thing. So I think everyone inside knows it's just a trade. You're trading your time for money. You're trading sometimes your dreams or doing something that has an impact for potentially money. And I don't regret my time in finance, and I don't regret the banking industry. I think it actually has a great role. Yeah. But it is just, your job defines you as a person. And no matter what you do, if you're a cop or if you're a banker or if you're a judge or a president, it defines who you are. And so you got to always understand that trait.
Yeah.
So. Why London Real?
Why London Real? I mean, so I found you through Ben Greenfield. You were interviewed by Ben Greenfield.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's kind of like how I discovered you. And I think I then realised, your journey, I think, connects with me because you're a banker originally by trade, and I saw that you'd gone and done ayahuasca, and I was like, bankers don't go and do ayahuasca. That is not normal.
Or do they?
Yeah, well, I don't know how many do. Yeah, but maybe they do.
Maybe they do.
And so immediately that kind of got me interested. This is someone who, people who go and do those things are quite different. And so I was then intrigued, and so that's how I found out about you. And I think somehow, through the clever marketing that you do, I must have got an email about the Life Accelerator, and it came at the right time for me. And I think it was around, I think the integrity, I think the fact that there was an involvement at a personal level, the accountability. I think that's what brought me to this course rather than another one. In the Life Accelerator, I knew everything there. I just hadn't layered it and put it all together in my life to repeat the process. In the Business Accelerator, I knew nothing. And it was the confidence I got from the Life Accelerator that said, that felt so good that I'll do this course with you. In the Life Accelerator, I decided I was going to do a business course. But by the end of the Life Accelerator, I was like, yeah, I've got the integrity's there, so that's why I chose you guys. Really.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you get into the Business Accelerator. You already know what it's like in an
Yeah.
accelerator.
Yeah.
But Life Accelerator is different. It's 6 weeks. Again, it's 18 high performance habits. A lot of them you've heard of before.
Yeah.
And for some people, they've tried to do them before,
Yeah.
sometimes with success, but when we stack them all together in 6 weeks with accountability with a group of 150 people, something electric happens. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you know that. Business Accelerator is different. It's 8 weeks, and there's different tasks. It's more focusing on creating something that you can add value to other people's lives as opposed to kind of changing your own self. So what's it like those first 2 weeks? Obviously, we throw you in. I'm asking you to do lots of things about your business.
Yeah.
How did you find it?
The first few weeks, I think, are comparatively easy. Not comparatively easy to the rest of the course. They're still hard. Like they're pretty hard. I think when you're evaluating what interests you and where your passions are, that's kind of exciting, and you get good feedback. Or I got good feedback when I went out to my network as well. That was encouraging, and I wasn't too much out of my comfort zone. That was quite good. That was like, okay, this is interesting. I can see how this works. The model, yeah, this could. So that was encouraging, and but there were areas later on. I mean, I don't, one of my traits that is both a good and a bad trait is I'm extremely determined when I set myself up for wanting to achieve something. But I nearly pulled out of this course at one point. I was. There was a point where it was like, this is seriously hard. This is pushing me to the brink. I don't know if I want to do this, and I just had to take faith in what had happened before, because I was questioning what you were doing at some points. It's like, I don't know, this is what I should be doing for me right now. But the two things was, I went, okay, it's worked before, and I had questions earlier on, and it worked. And then I was just like, okay, I know, better done than perfect. I was like, okay, so it doesn't feel like I'm ready to do it, but maybe I've just got to jump in. Maybe it's like the whole thing, the whole sort of idea of if I don't do it now, I'll never do it.
And what were those things that made you want to stop? What was that? What was the thing? You can be straight up. Tell me.
Well, webinar week was a big one for me.
Yeah, of course. That's toward the end of the course, though.
Yeah, that there was some times before then, but I say the one where I really nearly pulled out was webinar week, and I think it was because I wasn't happy with the quality of everything I'd done, and I was like, I don't want to go out there and put this out to people because I don't feel like I'm ready. And with me, I mean, I still get anxiety and overwhelm, and I have to learn how to deal with that. And it really, I was being pushed to the level and going, am I really gonna be able to step up on a webinar and put all this stuff out there? The whole imposter syndrome. Have I got anything to offer people? Can I really do this? Is my product good enough yet? Maybe I need to wait another month. Maybe everyone else is ready, but am I ready? And so that was, I thought, is it in my interests to go now? Maybe I should wait a month and let everyone else go ahead, and I'll just pull out now. I've learned and lost. I can keep going, but I didn't take that option.
Are you listening? And are you listening to yourself now? Say that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was the right thing to do it.
Right.
Yeah, it was definitely the right thing for me to go through it. But I like the fact that I questioned it, and I'm not saying that everyone should go. You have to listen to that. Maybe for someone it would be the right thing to stop there. I don't know, but for me it was right to push through. And
look, it's intense. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you actually take a step back and look at what we do in those 8 weeks, it's pretty mind blowing that you can start with kind of no idea, and then look at the market analysis and do your 10 vlogs and look at the market opportunity map and come up with an idea to build a website, to build a 3-part free video series, to create a low-cost product, and then hold a webinar and sell it and actually get money in your bank account from your ideas. I mean, it's actually quite mind-blowing. And some of these people won't even, they don't even want to go on Facebook to start off with. I've had people that are anxious to be on a video call, let alone film themselves and put it out there. So, look, I know it's a stressful week and it's really pushing people a lot. And so I understand how you feel about that. But how did it feel when you went through it, and how was that webinar?
First one was tough. I'd say people probably, I probably would have looked a bit nervous, but probably I'm very good at hiding when I'm in anxiety. Okay. I hid it for years. I had panic attacks twice a day at work, like deep, real, full on. and no one knew.
Like the everything.
Oh yeah,
starts
couldn't
coming
breathe.
in.
The
Okay.
whole total game over. I'd go home and collapse, and adrenaline overload when it just would dip out. So I've have the unfortunate skill and ability of learning how to deal with that. And I nearly went into panic beforehand, which is why I think for me that's something I have to be very careful of as a personal level. But it went well. And it went well enough for me to go, I can do this. And I did watch it back and was like, oh, I hated that bit. But that's fine, and that's okay. And that's how you learn from it. And I did, and I pushed and did another one, and that went a lot better. And still, there's some concerns there that I need to fix up. And so, and I will do more. I will be doing more webinars. And I think I will get to a stage of quite liking them.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to sort of.
They do come addicted.
Yeah, I think I actually will quite enjoy it. Yeah, bizarrely. Yeah.
How many people were showing up to your webinars?
Probably not enough.
Okay.
That would be the bit before. The week before was another very hard week, the hustle week.
Yeah.
I found that really challenging.
Yeah.
To really hustle. And that's sort of still a problem for me. So, which I've got to kind of work out what's going on there. So I probably had a little less than 20 on the first one, and maybe 10-ish on the second one.
Okay.
And I have a feeling that I'll get to, I think I've got the capacity to sell, and I used to be in sales and finance, and if I believe something and I'm passionate about it, I can communicate that. I've got, as long as my integrity is backing it, I feel compelled to share it with people. And so I think that I'll be able to convey that message and that sort of conviction once I can build up more people coming in.
Okay. Did you get customers?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
how many sales did you make?
I think I'm on 7 at the moment.
That's impressive.
And I think
That's real talk, man.
yeah, no, it is good.
I mean, 20 people on a webinar, honestly, that's nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah.
That means you probably did more hustling than you thought, or getting those people there. And selling 7 products is incredible, because now you've got a small class of people that you can take through. So
yeah, so the course begins on Monday. So yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
And what is your course?
So the course is kind of it's kind of helping people like me, maybe sort of where I was 5 years ago. So it's people who, it's I think it appeals to more than just that, but the real focus is around people who are overwhelmed, but they want to move to a state of high performance, and they probably know that they've got it in them, that they know it's there, but they're struggling to do it because they've probably got kids and there's lots of complexities going on in their life, and there's this sort of build-up of just things and stuff in their life that they can't seem to get rid of and move to the stage that they want to be, which will then allow them to be more purposeful, more connected and calmer. So it's sort of a combination of the achievement, but also more grounded, more comfortable, so that it's sustainable, as opposed to sort of like a fad diet where you achieve great success, can't sustain it, and then you plummet, wonder why, and then ditch it and move on. It's sort of, I think life can move in like waves or breathing. There's ups and downs, and it's being aware of those, so that you can have your high performance, but when there's a dip, realize it and not throw the baby out with the bathwater and then come back and re-engage, but have your game raised, but still recognize the flows of life. And,
I love it.
Yeah.
And your target audience is people like you?
Yeah, so I think it's open to anyone, and I marketed it mostly to men, but women have found it appealing as well, which is great. And so just from the way you taught, I've gone for a micro niche to begin with, which is basically dads in the industry, probably finance, so they're probably desk jobs, and it's how they can, turn having 100 things on their to-do list that they never do any of in the day to actually starting to get things done when they say they're going to do them, and to bring sort of more calm into their life as well at the same time, so that they can then go home and spend time with their kids and their wife and the other things that they're passionate about, and be more connected and feel like, my wife and I have often said, at the earlier ages, times when we had our children, that we felt we were just in survival mode. And I think there are times in your life when you are, and that's kind of okay, but I think there's more to it than that as well. I don't want to go through X number of years with my family being in survival mode. I want it to be more like it is now, particularly post-Life Accelerator, where there's, I'm getting my stuff done at work and I'm happy and I'm passionate about it. and then I'm going back and I'm committing time to my children and spending time with them and living life way more vibrantly, and that's kind of what I think the journey that I'm trying to help people go through is aligned to that.
Yeah, I can't believe you almost didn't do your webinar. It's ridiculous. Think of all those people you couldn't have helped. So that's amazing. I mean, I love this idea. I love this product, and congratulations for you for pushing through it. And teaching the course is just going to make you more empowered. It's probably going to be, you're going to get more out of it than your students even.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting. Talk to me about the community here. You're getting to meet a lot of them here at graduation tonight. We got a big dinner with everybody. What's it been like to have those people involved in your journey and to look at them inside your team as they go on their journey?
Yeah, it's crucial, and I think in the Life Accelerator, I think I was way more of a sort of helping people. There were certainly times when I was really pushed and I needed people to help me, but I felt I had capacity to help people more in the Life Accelerator. I think I was more giving. In the Business Accelerator, I think I was giving to begin with, and then I had to batten down the hatches because I was like, I just didn't have as much time to give because I was like, how the hell am I going to do this week? It was closing in from all angles, and not just the Accelerator, but everything. Life just seems to always get busy at the same time, and so that's when I was probably reaching out to the community more this time than I maybe did last time. It's great to sort of see people in the same boat, to see how they're going, to be able to learn from those experiences, to see people have difficult times and then all of a sudden be smashing it the next week. It's crucial. I've got the Life Accelerator course for life, and my wife could watch those videos and she could just learn it and do them. But I've said to her, don't do it. You got to pay the money. It's like the people, the community, is what it's all about. So it's there. It's sitting there on the desk. She could go do it tomorrow. She could be doing it now. But to me, it's not even half the course if you do it without the community. It's
I think when most people buy things online, what they do is they get a password and they get the videos and they say, do it at your leisure, which means I think the stat out there is 5% of people ever complete an online course, whereas I think we're in the 90-some% completion rate. So doing it with this team that actually goes through it as a unit with the live calls and I'm involved, there's something really special about it.
Yeah,
so we know that. It's great you were armed with the Life Accelerator skills, which I think really helps in your Business Accelerator. So I'm just so happy that you found this, you got this. I think it's going to really change you as a person. Talk to me about how you changed. Like if we walked outside and bumped into Matthew, who didn't take the Business Accelerator, how is that guy different than you?
Yeah, well, I think it maybe summed up. Someone I was chatting to someone at a dinner, and they said, "What's all this stuff you're doing online at the moment?" I was like, "Oh man," he's like thinking I'm such a jerk.
You're posting on your personal Facebook, right?
Yeah, and
good for you.
And I was like, "Okay, so I'll explain all that." And we kind of got cut off for a few minutes, and I came back, and he sort of came in and said, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Finance.
And I was like, I don't want to. I'm a big believer in that. I don't want to have to justify my life to anyone. So I was like, I don't want to defend it and have to say, "Oh, it's doing this and it is amazing." And I was like, "Oh, this is what I'm doing." And he was asking some more questions, and then the penny dropped. He wasn't asking me because he thought I was some jerk who was doing this and was like, "What the hell are you doing?" He wanted to do it. He's doing the course. He's one of the guys now doing my course. He wanted to do it, and he was interested, and he was intrigued. And so that gave me the confidence that people are interested and that there is value. And so I think I have a belief that I do have something to offer, that there is, that I can help people. And it's almost that even if there's only a few people that I help to begin with, and they deserve to be helped. And so I now I sometimes forget that. There's modes when I go, why am I doing this? Why am I here? And then I kind of try and remember those moments and people, those conversations, and that's, so I have a belief I have something to offer, and I've got an opportunity now to create a business for myself where I live with, my rules and my principles and my affirmations, which are already starting to come true. And so, I guess that maybe summarizes one of the key differences.
That's incredible, and that's a powerful place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to actually create a business that's aligned with your passions. I've said this before, but I think that applies to 0.1 or 0.01% of the people in the world. They talk about the 1%ers. It's less than that of people that actually are loving what they're doing and providing value, and they can really hold their head up when they say what they do. So now you're you're in that space.
Yeah.
So love that transformation. Last question for someone that's watching this and they're on the edge. They're like, I don't know if I should take the business accelerator. Maybe I should wait a few years when the kids grow up. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, there's only one phrase that comes to mind. A friend of mine from the Life Accelerator, he's German, Christoph, and he did an interview with last time, and he does a great German impersonation of you, and he just says, "Just pull the trigger, man, pull the trigger." And I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's like yeah. I mean, if you're on the edge, you already know you need to do it. You know, if you're looking at it, you just need to move from the stage of should I do it to making the decision and doing it. Yeah, you know, so if they're searching for it already and they found you, I think they probably just need to pull the trigger.
Yeah, and you did this with a full-time job in finance and kids and your training schedule and, you know, your meditations, and then you still went and did this business.
And now because of you, jiu-jitsu and, you know, spinal waves every day. Yeah,
that's incredible, man.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good. We'll take a couple months off, and then the Speak to Inspire course comes up. So we'll get you on the TED stage next.
Yeah.
But look, I think when you're honest with your people about your own issues, like you're talking openly about panic attacks and stuff, like I don't know if Matthew would have done that a year or two ago. And it's super powerful because there's lots of people out there. And all of a sudden, when you get vulnerable, people identify with you and they're like, yeah, that's me. I'm like that as well. I'd love to learn from a guy who's been through it, maybe still struggles with it, and also is still doing all these other things. And so that's a personal brand. Yeah. And you're building one. I love it. You're obviously attracting people. Yeah, there's hard days as an entrepreneur, and then you get these rays of sunshine where you're like, wow, I am doing something special. And you know, honestly, these days for me are rays of sunshine where I get to see, wow, we're doing something special. So Matthew, it's incredible having you on the Life Accelerator and now on the Business Accelerator. Yeah. Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
We'll be watching you for the next 12 months, and let's just keep the momentum going here. You're going to take these 7 people through your product. You're probably selling another 3 on the back of this video. And so then after that, let's really focus on the prime product and keep that momentum going, because I think this will transform you even more than all of your people as well. So as we say in London Real, it's about the journey, and let's do this.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank
it's
you,
been a
sir.
good journey. Thank you.
London Real doesn't stop when the conversation ends. You see, that's when we get started. Because everything begins with a thought, and then comes the action. The London Real Academy is our global transformation platform. Here we bring together thousands of students from over 75 countries. Whether you want to build a profitable business from your passion, or learn to speak to inspire, or broadcast yourself with your very own podcast, or accelerate your life to become a high-performance person, we have the online accountability course and personal mentoring program that will make your dream a reality. Join us, and we'll take your life to the next level, together. Our next Accelerator course is starting soon.